want you to take that time to think about land without overdevelopment, without pollution, without those things that that harm us, and we need to think of that better way. When we think of our bay, our beautiful bay, I always imagine our great canoes that held maybe 30 people going and traveling up and going up into the northern lands and then traveling south. And I'm thinking, well, how do people do that with such ease? Well, I mean, we certainly have the tides that help us move back and forth, and the winds, all of that. So we have our circle of life that is a part of this place.
Drill the holes first. Good point. So, in the kit, you're going to need a drill, but it comes with the bits, the hole saw bits for you. The small one here is for the faucet hole down here, or the spigot, and then the larger one is for the water intake that connects to the downspout at the home.
In Providence Park. So as you've seen, there's a number of different green infrastructure implementations around Roger Williams Park, and these are super beneficial in reducing the amount of nutrients that go into our waterways that support the cyanobacteria blooms. So there's a couple of different methods that we use for these green infrastructures. There's one over there on the hill right there, but this allows for the water or the nutrients and things in the water to settle before the water runs into the waterways to hopefully reduce the amount of nutrients there and reduce the amount of cyanobacteria.
Hi everybody, thank you for coming. My name's Sada. My pronouns are she and them, and I'm the Youth Programs Director with Groundwork Rhode Island. We're a community-based environmental organization, and with us today is Groundwork's Green Team, a group of high school-aged youth. My babies! Yeah. They're a group of high school-aged youth who work together to improve the neighborhoods of Providence, Pawtucket, and Central Falls. Woo. They get to engage in both school and community gardens, water and care for young city trees, and most importantly, learn how to help with environmental issues.
Raise your hand if you guys know what compost is. Okay, we have a good selection. Alright, for our friends who don't, compost is a nutrient-rich soil that we can create by saving kitchen scraps and processing them in ideal conditions to turn into compost. As Sarah said, Harvest Cycle collects food scraps from all over the city. We have over 400 subscribers, and together we are able to divert 152,000 pounds of food scraps from the landfill each year.
So Roger Williams Park is set in a city that's full of a lot of different uses. We have people living in apartments and homes. We have shopping centers. We even have factories making things that we need every day. And sometimes we even have farms like we do right up the hill here, taking care of the horses for the police department. And what we know about our city streets and our city lawns is that they're filled with all kinds of things. You know, we like to put fertilizer all over our golf courses. We often get manure and pet waste that ends up everywhere. We know from walking around parks and cities that there's lots of pets and geese and everything. Some of our factories are very busy making things. Sometimes they make a mess. And then when it rains, all this laying on the landscape has to go somewhere. But with Roger Williams Park, at the temple, and the boathouse, and the casino, we have natural sponges that capture the pollution before it gets into our ponds and lakes. So you can see the pond down below, a little bit of pollution comes in, but you see the pollution here gets caught in the natural areas, and it gets treated naturally by nature right here in the park. So we get a little bit of pollution in our lakes and ponds. We don't get nearly as much as we do in other places that don't have our natural filters like this. So Roger Williams Park's a great place to come and play. It's a great place for wildlife, and it's a great place to clean our lakes and
No one ever considers the soil. People don't doubt the ground will hold their weight when stepping out. Beneath you are layers of moments encased in sediment. The earth is a linear archive hiding toxic chronicles under your souls. Land is a victim of extraction and filter for the curses of consumption. The dirt is saturated with genocides, pesticides, and fertilizers, suppressed truths of a common ancestor. At the golden hour, high above hovering, between sun painting fiery strokes of shattered light across the troposphere in sharp darkness, I was born. In the sky, out of love and rage, hope and desperation. My parents are black clouds, full of booming electricity and cumulative precipitation. I was poured into your realm to collect with my siblings in the rivers, streams, and ponds. We took over your streets and highways to deliver a message. We are kin. 70% of your cells match my structure. No one ever considers the soil. At the golden hour, high above hovering, people don't doubt the ground will hold their weight when stepping out. Between sun painting fiery strokes of shattered light across the troposphere in sharp darkness, beneath you are layers of moments encased in sediment. I was born in the sky, out of love and rage, hope and desperation. The earth is a linear archive, hiding toxic chronicles under your souls. My parents are black clouds, full of booming electricity and cumulative precipitation. Land is a victim of extraction and filter of the curses of consumption. I was poured into your realm to collect with my siblings. In the rivers, streams, and ponds, the dirt is saturated with genocides, pesticides, and fertilizers. We took over your streets and highways to deliver a message, suppress truths from our common ancestor. We are kin. 70% of your cells match my structure. Do the math. The majority of your molecules are water. Can you deny that our life exists in a kind of tiny ocean contained by a membrane of skin? We are the same, droplet blowing in the wind sideways, waiting to evaporate and join our parents in the sky. You, cousin, are just a pond, with a name. Your equation depends on my covalent bonds. Can you doubt that without moisture, humanity becomes a nutrient? History to stand on. Without water, a body was. But with pumping fluid, you are connected to the entire lake and river system. We as a collective are polluted. Sick and tired of being sickened, tied. Have you ever considered how much of your biome is microplastic? Do you know how many different heavy metals float in your brain and blood? Because centuries before you swam out of your mother, some other droplet thought creating and dumping waste would win them Providence? So many contributions to the cocktail, it's hard to source the poison and disrupt the harm. Pet waste, lawn chemicals, industrial discharge, it's a burden to every drop of life. People have created privileges that protect those groups most responsible by placing the least implicated as a shield on the front line, stranded in neighborhoods, food deserts, high heat islands stripped of trees and other flora, separated by highways and commercial traffic. What has been sacrificed to the promise of a strong economy, life, liberty, and the pursuit of whose happiness? Before the storm, a little girl was making tears in the park because she wanted to dive into Deep Spring Lake. Her parents explained the blooming danger of blue-green algae and how stormwater washes the toxic secrets from generations before and today. Though she may never stick her toe into the lake in the city, I am overflowing with her grief. It fills me and motivates my journey to the state capitol for this distinguished body to hear my plea directly through the fluids vibrating inside yourself and know through touch how much we all are hurting because of decisions made by a small private beach of beneficiaries. It's important to understand clean water is a choice. Every year, each line item in your approved budget is an opportunity for healing. There are laws and technology that can aid mitigation through green infrastructure. There is a movement of people committed to shifting the current flow of destruction. You have the ability to strengthen the wave of resistance and contribute your power.
Festival on a high note. And first of all, I should say thank you for all of you for coming out here and supporting what we're doing and the work that is being done by the Providence Stormwater Innovation Center, the Providence Parks Department, the Audubon Society, we support everything that they do because we're a whole family here. The Botanical Center's here. The Museum of Natural History is here. Make sure that you check out all the places in the park.